There's a silent health issue affecting countless older men, one that's rarely brought into the open but can profoundly impact their well-being. It saps energy, puts strain on vital organs, dulls mental sharpness, and creates rifts in personal relationships. I'm talking about excessive masturbation in old age. If you're over 60 and find yourself engaging in this habit frequently, you may already be experiencing subtle warning, signs persistent tiredness, difficulty focusing, or a sense of emotional distance. My name is Dr. James Carter, a urologist with over 30 years of experience, helping men safeguard their sexual health, vitality, and longevity. As a professor of urology, a men's health specialist, and a senior advisor to some of the most respected hospitals in the United States, I'm here to deliver the truth with compassion, not criticism. Masturbation is often viewed as a natural, even beneficial activity, and in moderation, it can be. However, as you age, your body undergoes significant transformations. Hormones decline, your cardiovascular system works harder, your nervous system slows, and your brain requires more time to recover. What was once a harmless release in your younger years can now pose risks, leaving you physically drained, mentally foggy, or emotionally disconnected from those closest to you. Over the next few minutes, I'll guide you through 6 science-backed consequences of excessive masturbation in older age, many of which you might already be noticing but haven't linked to this habit. More importantly, I'll share practical, natural strategies to restore your energy levels, protect your overall health, sharpen your mind, and rebuild intimacy in your relationships. If you've been feeling off more, exhausted, less present, or simply not yourself, this could provide the answers you've been seeking. Stay with me, because this knowledge could change how you approach your health forever. If you appreciate straightforward, evidence-based health advice tailored for men navigating the challenges of aging, please hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. I create these videos to empower men like you to live stronger, healthier lives. In the comments, type 1 if this topic hits home, or 0 if it doesn't. I value your feedback to make this content even more relevant. Let's start with a common issue that many men over 60 experience but rarely talk about: chronic fatigue and hormonal depletion. One of the most frequent concerns I hear from men over 60 is a deep, unrelenting fatigue that lingers no matter how much they sleep or how well they eat. This isn't just a natural part of aging, there's often an underlying factor at play. I vividly remember a patient, William, a 68-year-old retired teacher who came to my office looking defeated. "Doc," he said, "I sleep 8 hours a night, eat balanced meals, but I'm exhausted. I need 2 naps a day just to get by. What's wrong with me?" After a thorough discussion, he hesitantly shared, "I masturbate almost every day. It's my way to relax, especially since retiring." Here's a critical truth most men are never told. As you age, your testosterone levels, the hormone that fuels energy, focus, and drive, naturally decline. Each ejaculation triggers a temporary drop in testosterone and dopamine, the brain chemical that governs motivation and mood stability. In your 30s or 40s, your body bounces back quickly, but after 60, this recovery process slows dramatically. Frequent masturbation, especially without adequate recovery time, accelerates this hormonal depletion, leading to profound fatigue, sluggish thinking, and a lack of motivation that some mistake for depression or inevitable aging. William's daily habit was taxing his system, leaving his body little chance to replenish its vital resources. We developed a plan to reduce his frequency to twice a week, incorporated light strength training to naturally boost testosterone, and added nutrient-rich foods like salmon, walnuts, and spinach to support hormone production. Within 6 weeks, William reported a noticeable shift. His energy returned, his mood lifted, and his wife remarked that he was smiling like his old self again. Your body isn't an endless resource. It's a finely tuned system that requires balance, especially in later years. Overindulgence, even in a private habit, can trap you in a cycle of exhaustion and hormonal imbalance. If this resonates with you, type 1 in the comments. Let's move on to an issue that might catch you off guard: heart strain and cardiovascular risks. Excessive masturbation doesn't just drain your energy, it can place significant stress on your heart. A patient named Charles, 72, a soft-spoken man who prided himself on staying active, came to me with a troubling concern. He walked daily, ate a heart-healthy diet, and monitored his health closely, but during a routine visit, he confided, "I masturbate several times a week, sometimes more when I'm stressed. Lately, I've noticed my heart racing afterward, and I feel lightheaded. Is that normal?" This is a question I wish more men would ask, because orgasm is more than a moment of pleasure. It's a full cardiovascular event. During climax, your heart rate can spike to levels comparable to running a sprint, your blood pressure surges, and your blood vessels rapidly constrict and dilate. For younger men, this temporary stress is generally harmless, but in older age, particularly if you have conditions like hypertension, mild arrhythmia, or arterial plaque buildup, these surges can be risky. Charles had borderline high blood pressure, and his frequent habit was overtaxing his cardiovascular system, leading to palpitations and dizziness. We adjusted his routine, encouraging at least 2 rest days between sessions and introducing heart-supportive practices like deep breathing exercises, daily stretching, and a focus on low-impact activities like walking or yoga. Within a month, his symptoms subsided, and he felt more confident in his body's resilience. The key takeaway isn't to eliminate the habit entirely, it's to respect your heart's changing capacity. Repeated intense stimulation without recovery can quietly strain your cardiovascular system, and the real danger lies in the cumulative pressure you may not feel building over time. Memory fog and cognitive impairment. Another unexpected consequence of excessive masturbation in older age is its impact on your brain. I met Robert, a 71-year-old retired engineer who was deeply concerned about his mental sharpness. "Doc," he said, "I'm forgetting small things names, where I put my keys, why I walked into a room. My wife's worried it's early dementia, but some days I'm clear, others I'm in a haze." After running tests that ruled out neurological conditions, I asked about his daily habits. He admitted, "I masturbate almost every day, usually to help me fall asleep." What most men don't realize is that orgasm is a deeply neurological event. It triggers a surge of dopamine, the feel-good chemical, followed by a sharp drop. When this happens too frequently, especially without enough recovery time, it can deplete key neurotransmitters like acetylcholine and dopamine, which are critical for memory, concentration, and mental clarity. In younger men, the brain recovers quickly, but in your 60s and 70s, this cycle of relief and crash can leave you foggy, easily distracted, or forgetful for hours or even days afterward. Robert agreed to cut back to a few times a week, started taking omega-3 supplements to support brain health, and prioritized better sleep hygiene and hydration. Within a few weeks, his mental clarity improved significantly, and his wife jokingly noted, "He remembered our anniversary, and my birthday this year, miracles do happen." This isn't about vilifying a private habit, it's about understanding that your brain, like the rest of your body, needs rhythm and balance to stay sharp as you age. If you're noticing cloudy thinking or memory slips, it might not be age alone. It could be linked to what's happening too often behind closed doors. Emotional isolation and relationship strain. Beyond physical effects, excessive masturbation can quietly reshape your emotional well-being and relationships. I'll never forget Thomas, a 74-year-old patient who came to my office visibly shaken. "Doc," he said, his hands trembling slightly, "my wife thinks I don't love her anymore. She says I've become distant, and she's not wrong, but I don't know how to fix it." After some discussion, he quietly admitted, "I've been turning to masturbation instead of connecting with her. It's easier, especially when I feel stressed or insecure." This kind of vulnerability is rare, but the issue is far more common than most realize. As men age, changes in health, self-image, or relationship dynamics can lead to emotional withdrawal. Many turn to solo habits like masturbation, not out of lust, but as a coping mechanism for loneliness, boredom, or a need for comfort. While it provides fleeting relief, it can deepen feelings of isolation over time. The act might feel satisfying in the moment, but afterward, there's no warmth, no shared connection, just an empty silence. This can erode relationships built over decades, leaving both partners feeling disconnected and unfulfilled. Thomas had been married for over 40 years, but he and his wife hadn't been intimate in months. He felt ashamed, not of the habit itself, but of the emotional gap it had created. We worked on rebuilding their bond through small, intentional steps, daily conversations, holding hands during evening walks, and rediscovering shared hobbies like gardening. Over time, their connection grew stronger, and Thomas felt more present. Emotional intimacy isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a foundation for mental health, physical well-being, and even longevity. Choosing presence over retreat can transform your relationships and your life. Pelvic floor weakness and sexual health challenges. Excessive masturbation can also impact your sexual function in ways that might catch you off guard. Gerald, a 78-year-old patient with a sharp wit, came to me last winter, frustrated and embarrassed. "Doc," he said, "I'm humiliated to admit this, but I can't get or keep an erection like I used to, and I've started leaking urine when I laugh or sneeze. What's going on?" When we explored his habits, he shared, "I masturbate almost every morning. I thought it was good for me, like exercise. The pelvic floor muscles, which control ejaculation and support urinary function, are like any other muscle in your body. They need rest to stay strong and functional. Frequent ejaculation without recovery time can weaken these muscles over time, especially in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. This can lead to weaker erections, longer arousal times, urinary dribbling, and even a blow to your confidence." Many men don't connect these symptoms to their private habits, assuming they're an unavoidable part of aging. Gerald started a routine of pelvic floor exercises, such as Kegels, reduced his frequency to a few times a week, and focused on quality over quantity. We also incorporated dietary changes, like increasing zinc-rich foods to support prostate health. Within 2 months, his control improved, his erections became more reliable, and that defeated look in his eyes was gone. Your body isn't failing you. It's simply asking for a different kind of care than it needed 30 years ago. With the right balance, you can maintain pleasure, strength, and confidence well into your later years. Loss of motivation and life purpose. One often overlooked consequence of excessive masturbation in older age is its impact on your sense of purpose and drive. I met James, a 69-year-old retired accountant who described feeling stuck in life. "Doc," he said, "I used to have goals, hobbies, things I looked forward to. Now I just go through the motions. I don't know what happened to my spark." When we discussed his routines, he admitted to masturbating daily, sometimes multiple times, as a way to fill time or cope with boredom. Frequent masturbation, particularly when it becomes a default response to stress or inactivity, can disrupt your brain's reward system. The repeated dopamine spikes and crashes can dull your sensitivity to everyday pleasures, like spending time with friends, pursuing hobbies, or setting new goals. Over time, this can lead to a sense of apathy or disconnection from the things that once gave your life meaning. For older men who may already be grappling with retirement or shifts in identity, this loss of motivation can feel particularly heavy. James agreed to scale back his habit, replacing some of those moments with activities like volunteering at a local community center and taking up painting, a hobby he'd always wanted to try. We also worked on mindfulness practices to help him stay present. Within a few months, he reported feeling alive again, with a renewed sense of purpose. This isn't about abandoning pleasure. It's about rediscovering what truly fulfills you and channeling your energy into a life that feels vibrant and meaningful. Conclusion: a new chapter for your health and life. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you not just for listening, but for having the courage to face a topic most men shy away from. Excessive masturbation in older age can contribute to chronic fatigue, heart strain, mental fog, emotional isolation, sexual health challenges, and even a loss of purpose. But awareness is the first step toward transformation. This conversation isn't about guilt or shame-ites, about empowering you to understand your body's evolving needs and make choices that honor where you are today. Over my 30-year career, I've seen countless men reclaim their vitality and health. They sleep deeper, feel stronger, reconnect with their partners, and rediscover their zest for life, not by giving up pleasure entirely, but by finding balance and listening to their bodies. You're not too old to heal, not too far gone, and not too late to feel like yourself again. Your body, mind, and relationships are still capable of incredible things, but they need your care and attention now more than ever. In my next video, I'll dive into practical, natural strategies you can start today to boost your energy levels, protect your heart, sharpen your mind, strengthen your relationships, and rediscover purpose. These steps are simple, tailored for men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, and designed to fit into your life without feeling restrictive or overwhelming. You're not alone in this journey, and your health matters more than you might realize. If this video has shed light or shifted how you see your health, please take a moment to like, share, or leave a comment below. Type 1 if you're ready to take the next step toward better health, or 0 if you're still processing. It's okay to take your time. Your story could inspire another man to break the silence and take control of his health. Let's keep this conversation going, learning, healing, and growing together. Stay tuned for the next video, where we'll turn this knowledge into a clear, actionable plan for a stronger, more vibrant you.